Sorry I'm late. I've been busy for this past weekend, but I'm here now. So chapter 1135. I have a review. Let's go. And I still see my boy right here. He needs to be a little bit, not even a little bit. He needs to be a lot bigger on the page. All right, he's coming up. So starting off, while we see Jurulibani and Chopper reading out of the big book, Saul mentions the owl's name. The owl's official name is called Bimelot, and he is the head librarian of the owl library. And apparently he's been living in this place, or he's been living on Elbaf for hundreds of years. So for all we know, he probably could know some shit right now. One thing's for sure is that Saul gets a highlight that he actually ate a devil fruit that allows him to gigantify any book that comes within this space. So he's the reason why these books are big. He basically has San Juan Wolf's power, but instead of him gigantifying himself, he just gigantified books. Can he do this with inanimate? No, not inanimate. Can he do this with organic life? We don't know, but we know he's the reason why these books are big. Panning away from them, we see Luffy, Usopp, and two giants scared out of their fucking mind on the swing because they're swinging from a very, very high. Pretty much they're swinging too high for the giants to like it, and they started crying. Meanwhile, Usopp, not really Usopp, more Luffy than Usopp, is trying to enjoy and actually try to push for a harder height. Yeah, so Nami beat the shit out of them because they're making the children cry and shit like that. The two giants ran to Gerd, screaming and crying because of how terrifying it was. But Luffy was looking at this shit. I'm like, y'all are warriors. Y'all supposed to be fearless. This is shameful. And Sanji tried to calm him down because these kids was treated with love and care. But he glances over his eye, one of the giant kids, looking smirky when he's on the bosom, and his attitude immediately switched. So Usopp and Luffy had a conversation of how disappointed they were in their first entrance to Elbaf because there's not a lot of warriors per se. But Usopp gets to mention that even though there's no real warriors like that, a peaceful Elbaf is not really a bad thing. Until out of nowhere, I forgot his name. I think his name is Colin, the guy that came from the same village Shanks was in, came out of nowhere with a sneak attack, trying to one up Luffy and Usopp. Colin then goes for a swing, but Luffy immediately blocks it. After he blocks it, you see him gear up a Gear 3rd elephant gun and immediately crash and punch right beside Colin, creating a crater in the ground. Usopp immediately telling him to calm down, but Luffy is trying to tell him that I didn't even hit him. But it doesn't matter because he's still gonna get in a lot of trouble because there's still violence that is not prohibited in this area, especially within this area. But Luffy doesn't care because he's just glad that there are still people who still he's still glad that Elbaf is not really a peaceful place because Colin showed him that, hey, there are still some people left here that's about that action. But the rest of them over here, they're just saying that he's a meanie, he's being a bully or some shit like that. But Colin doesn't care because Colin, he knows Luffy because he knows Shanks. Shanks is giving him the details, so he's just saying that how cool it is that you're an emperor for all right. But he turned around to the crowd, and everybody is just disappointed in Colin's act because like I said, violence is not permitted. Violence is not allowed in Elbaf, at least in this new generation, especially within this area. But Colin doesn't fucking care. Ripley came out of nowhere and said, "Don't make a scene," but that first strike was very solid. And this is where we got the confirmation that Ripley is Colin's mom. And both Luffy, or I think that's Sanji, that's very shocked that highlighted that. But he's just glad that at least you're teaching your son the old ways of the Vikings or the warriors. But notify, he's not only the son of a giant, he's also half human too. So his father is on his human side and his mom is a giant. Who the person is, I have a very key person that's in mind, but I'll give you a separate video of that later down the line. It was said that he used to be a pirate and was not even feared by anyone, not even a warrior himself. But apparently he's he's very worried of the he's very worried about like the age gap apparently. Like this is the one character in One Piece that I've seen that has a problem with the huge age gap, since giants are known to be living for hundreds of years, and the highest human that we've known is Dr. Kureha, and she's like 140 something. So Luffy met up with Saul, Robin, and the rest of them, and he's just fucking amazed at how big the books are in this library. But Robin wants to talk to Saul a little bit longer and said that he'll meet up with him at the feast because he want to talk to Saul. And Saul was like, they've been partying for fucking 3 days and shit, so you're gonna have plenty of time. The same thing goes for Bonnie and Vegapunk. They want to stay here a little bit longer to create their own resident permit. And the same thing goes for Frankie, because Frankie is trying to find out more information around this kingdom about the Adam's tree, which Saul gets to highlight that there are a good amount of Adam's tree around the world, but the ages on this one on Elbaf is off the charts. So yeah, Frankie's gonna be here to learn more. Luffy came in, was like, okay, no worries, we'll just go on ahead because he's starving as fuck. But before they all go, Gerd got something for all of them, and that is an official costume for the rest of the other Straw Hat, the ones that was not with on Elbaf. These guys that was on the ship, yeah, they now officially got their own Viking warrior look. And I think this is the first time I've seen Jinbei in something different from, I think it was called a kimono or a Japanese traditional suit, and it looks fucking crazy. I do like the beard on Frankie. Brooks fit, I gotta see it in color. It looks good, and Robin just looks stunning. To which they acknowledge, and Gerd is flustered. She thanks them for saying that. We then pan to the Quest Castle near the Western Village, the same one where we saw those two characters, one that looks like a female and the other that looks like Shanks. So they're stumbling around in the castle, and they met up with two giant guards that cannot let them pass or let them go any further because it's considered trespassing. These two are here to free Loki. To them, it's like, why would you want to free that? Because that's the same guy who killed our beloved King Harold. So this mysterious lady, or I think that Shanks could be more likely as a lady, starts speaking in Doppio form, just some bullshit like that. And to them, they're just confused because it's like, what the fuck is happening? Nothing happened at first until the big guy, the big dude with the white beard, start riling in pain, kneeling. The other guy is freaking the fuck out because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So this chick came in, was like, okay, this is what happens when this is what happens when you're too rude and too proud. I wasn't asking you, I'm ordering you to tell me. And basically we see the big giant just fall down on the ground. Is he dead? Is he alive? We have no idea. We just know he's not. The fuck out. We now then panned out to the 3-day festival, or the festival that went on for 3 days. Usopp and Luffy are cheering, and the rest of the other Straw Hats and shit like that, right? And basically the entire giants, especially Hydruden and the Hydruden and the big giant, I forgot the name of their pirate ship, their pirate crew, but basically they're celebrating for freeing them, giving them a purpose, so on and so forth. So they cheers to the Straw Hats, right? And then it come this big floating ship with the one of if not, I think the oldest giants, because I know there was two of them, Mountain Beard Yaru. Or Yaru. I don't know if they pronounce the J as how they will do for the Northic one, but it's Jaru for me, right? He arrived, and Luffy was scared out of his fucking mind because he has a sword in his fucking head. But he mentioned that I'm lucky the helmet saved me, but it's going right through. whatever that means. So